Amazon, a name shared by a global shopping empire, the planet's largest rainforest, and the fierce women warriors of Greek mythology. But what if these connections run deeper than we think? Could the stories of ancient nomadic warriors, including the legendary Queen Tomyris, converge under this iconic name? Let's explore. Let's start with Jeff Bezos and his decision to name his brand Amazon. Shocked that his previously chosen name, Cadabra, was misheard as cadaver, Jeff quickly grabbed a dictionary. As he flipped through the pages, he landed on Amazon. To him, it was perfect. It represented an exotic, different place, just like his ambitious new venture. The name also symbolized scale. The Amazon River is the largest in the world, and Bezos had dreams of creating the largest bookstore in the world. As an added bonus, the name started with an A, which meant it would appear near the top of alphabetical lists, a helpful edge in the early days of online search engines. That's why Jeff Bezos chose Amazon for his brand, a name that would grow as big as the vision behind it. But where did the name itself come from? Why is the river Amazon called Amazon? Before it was called the Amazon, European explorers referred to the river as Marañón. But in the 16th century, its name changed to Rio Amazonas in Spanish and Portuguese, and it has been known by that name ever since. So, how did it get the name Amazonas? The story takes us to the legendary expedition of Francisco de Orellana, the first European to navigate the entire length of the river. During his journey, Orellana's crew was reportedly attacked by native warriors. What made this encounter extraordinary was that some of these warriors were women. To Orellana, these female fighters reminded him of the mythical Amazons from Greek mythology. Inspired by their valor, he named the river Rio Amazonas, and the name stuck. In Greek mythology, the Amazons were renowned female warriors and hunters, celebrated for their physical agility, unmatched strength, and combat mastery. From archery to horseback riding, they were skilled in the arts of war and lived lives steeped in independence and courage. Their society was unique, entirely closed to men. The Amazons raised only their daughters, sending their sons back to their fathers or nearby tribes. Their interactions with men were brief and purely for reproduction, maintaining a society solely of women. Led by their queen, the Amazons were fearless conquerors who embarked on military expeditions to the farthest reaches of the ancient world. From Scythia to Thrace, their presence was felt in lands that stretched beyond the boundaries of the known world. In the myths, their homeland was often depicted at the periphery of the ancient map, a mysterious, untamed region that embodied their legendary status. While the Amazons of Greek mythology might seem like a pure legend, history offers compelling evidence that these tales were inspired by real-life warrior women. For decades, archaeologists have uncovered burial sites across the Eurasian steppes that tell a different story about ancient nomadic cultures. Among the Scythians and Sarmatians, women weren't confined to traditional roles. They rode horses, wielded weapons, and fought alongside men. One key reason for this participation is that nomadic societies did not have the same rigid gender separation as sedentary civilizations. In many settled societies, strict gender roles often confined women to domestic duties. But in nomadic cultures, where survival depended on mobility, resourcefulness, and martial prowess, such distinctions were less pronounced. This allowed women to take on roles usually reserved for men, including participating in warfare, leading raids, and even commanding armies. Among the steppe cultures, the egalitarian nature of their military roles gave women not only combat opportunities, but likely greater influence within their communities. One of the most fascinating examples is Queen Tomyris of the Massacatae. In the 6th century BCE, Tomyris faced Cyrus the Great of Persia, one of the most powerful rulers of the ancient world. Cyrus initially sought to subjugate her people through diplomacy, proposing marriage as a way to take control of her lands. Tomyris, a fiercely independent leader, rejected his offer. Cyrus then resorted to deceit. During an early skirmish, He tricked Tomyris' son, Spargapises, into leading a contingent of the army into a trap. Cyrus's initial assault against Tomyris' people was routed by the Massacatae, after which Cyrus set up a fancy banquet with large amounts of wine in the tents of his camp as an ambush and withdrew. The Massacatae, led by Spargapises, primarily used fermented mare's milk as intoxicants, like most Iron Age steppe nomads, and were therefore not used to drinking wine. They became drunk and were easily defeated and slaughtered by Cyrus, thus destroying a third of Spargapises' army. Captured by Cyrus, and once he had become sober and understood his situation, Spargapises asked Cyrus to free him, and after Cyrus acquiesced to his pleas, he killed himself. For Tomyris, the loss of her son was a devastating blow, and she vowed vengeance. She sent Cyrus a message in which she called the wine, which had caused the destruction of her army and her son, a drug which made those who consumed it so mad that they spoke evil words and demanded him to leave his land, or else she would, swearing upon the son, give him more blood than he could drink. True to her word, Tomyris rallied her forces and faced Cyrus in a decisive battle. Her army annihilated the Persians, and Cyrus himself was killed. According to legend, Tomyris found his corpse, severed his head and shoved it in a bag filled with blood while telling Cyrus, "Drink your fill of blood." Tomyris was a symbol of defiance and strength, a figure who fought for her people and reshaped the stories of her time. While these tribes weren't specifically called Amazons, their culture of female warriors likely influenced the myths of all female warrior societies. The parallels are striking. Women who rode into battle, commanded armies, and defied empires. Perhaps it's no coincidence that these real-life warriors echo the tales of the mythical Amazons, blurring the line between legend and reality. While there's no direct connection between the Amazon warriors of myth and the women warriors of Central Asia, the similarities are undeniable. The Greeks were master storytellers, and they often blurred the lines between fact and fiction, crafting myths that reflected their encounters with other cultures. When the Greek armies came into contact with the warrior women of the Eurasian steppes, nomadic tribes where women rode into battle alongside men, it's possible that these real-life encounters became the foundation for the Amazon myths. The Greek imagination likely expanded these warriors' stories, transforming them into larger-than-life figures. Perhaps it's no coincidence that the name Amazon, evoking images of a powerful, untamed river, was chosen for a company that aimed to break boundaries, much like these warrior women, whose legacies continue to inspire strength and defiance